Hey, Tej here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for gold. I'll cover wave analysis with the Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios the price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Again, the higher time frame setup is that we are still looking for a primary wave 4 and the potential pivot for a B, and this would be the C wave, or the WX, and then this would be a wave Y. And at that point again, then we would be looking for a pivot upwards. Now, again, there are some higher time frame structures, but we can take a look at those later, as we still don't have a clear structure in here. That is the only possibility. There is multiple different possibilities here at the moment, and not yesterday, but the last time we were looking into gold, we had the potential of having this as a far-away structure going up. So let's take a look at that closer. So this was the structure that we had, again, from the 28th of September lows, and the idea that we had was this one. In this, we were expecting this to be a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the third. Again, we had the highest RSI here, giving us the info that, okay, this is most likely a third. Why? Because we went beyond the 1.618. Again, gold has done these runs where we have a pivot going beyond the 1.618 and turning into an ABC instead, which is again the exact same thing that happened. So we can't get our hopes up on gold at any times, even though we go and break the 1.618. We have done this now twice, and here as well, and same thing in silver. So these are both these assets that are currently faking out everybody here. And when did we again start, or when did our bias actually start to change, is when we go beyond the 38.2. At that point, at latest, we need to be looking into the possibility that there is other counts to be had here. Also, we had this three-way structure coming down as a possibility, where we had confluence with this 1-to-1 and the 382 and the previous wave 4. So all of these three things are pointing out that, okay, we still have a lot of support here, and this is the defining structure, this is the defining area where we are looking for that bounce for that fifth. However, if this previous wave 4 breaks, then this is no longer the case. And this was exactly what happened. This broke down, and this is definitely not the count anymore. So what is it? Instead of having that as a 5-way structure, we can have it as a 3-way structure. And then, of course, we can be looking into the possibility of what is coming up next. This is, again, the same thing. We could be having this as a 5-way structure, as we are still looking into having these extensions working. 1.618 is gone through, so we are expecting a third. We are having the highest momentum there, so it makes sense that it is a third wave. Then we actually did get a pullback here for a potential wave 4 and a 5 downwards, giving us that potential A wave. Now, why A wave? Is just because of the higher time frame expectations. Now, at this point, if we are looking into this as a 3-way structure, I would think that this is wave Y. Now, the issue is with this count that we were expecting this to be an ABC structure. And at that point, we had the chance of getting to the 38.2, which would have taken out the previous highs, would have made sense on higher time frame, getting that retracement for this possible B wave, having this as an A, B, and then looking for that C wave again coming down for a WXY count on the higher time frame. But that definitely don't seem to be happening, so there is something else going on. Now, at this moment, with this count, it is not very clear what this is about. So I do think that whatever we have here is something new. So again, if we are looking at the extensions here, comparing the wave W here for that wave Y, we are seeing that we are very close to the 1-to-1 here. We did not hit it, but we are very close to it. We don't really need all of these here. But yeah, we just missed it just by a bit. So it is possible that wave B, at least on this scenario, would be done here. Higher time frame, does he have the right look? Not really. Does he have the retracement? Not really. But yeah, we have to feel like, oh, put this whole count into the back burner, I feel like, just because the extensions are not really lining up. But regardless of that, we can be looking at the smaller time frame here until we figure out what could be happening on the higher time frame. And to me, this looks very nice as a 5-way structure. So again, does this 5-way structure fit into something that we have before? Possibly. But to me, I feel like this, after such a rise here, this is something new. I feel like we had the high RSI here, we had taken out, we have taken out now the lows here, giving us potential that this is again very much new structure coming up. So what I'm expecting is actually a B wave here, creating that 3-way structure upwards, and then looking for that C wave. So at least 5-way structure coming down after this B wave is done. Now let's see some targets here for this one. 38.2 would be lining up very well with these previous highs, basically 0.5 anywhere beyond, and golden pocket right there as well. Let's see if there is some volume supporting any of these. We do have some volume starting come in right at the golden pocket here around the $16.95, so around just shy of the $1,700 area. That's where most of the volume is coming through, but again, we would have to go through this volume node. If we don't, then I'm not going to be taking a trade, and this could be morphing into something else again. But if we are getting a C wave like this with this potential ABC right into the golden pocket, then I might be interested in shorting this again. Let's take a look at if we are again at that pivot right now. We would be going well beyond the 1.618 though, so maybe that is not that realistic. And we also would need to go to smaller time frame to validate this as a 5-way structure. So that's something that I don't really want to do. Maybe the 38.2 here for that way B would be the most realistic. We'll see. Now, if we are looking at something else, some other count here, going back to 4-hour time frame. And again, we have our buys on very local structures here. If we are looking at this, for example, what we had as a potential, or as an alternate, I think, we still had this as an ABC into W, into X with that 3-way structure. But again, this was a alternate just because the X wave here is so low, or so small, sorry. The X wave again is smaller than the lower time frame or lower degree wave structures, so it does not really make too much sense of having this as an X. However, the extensions here are very much agreeing with this count. The 1-to-1 extension of this whole structure is right here at these lows. 1-to-1 extension of this ABC here at these lows. So it is very, very pretty looking structure coming down, if we want to be labeling it like this. So that's why we still have to be keeping this in mind and how this can be developing. So let's take another look at a bit lower time frame what we have here. Well, it is exactly the same structure that we are expecting on the other structure. So in here, instead of having this as that 5-way that we were expecting earlier, this would be just again that's ABC into A, ABC into B, and then 5-way structure going up. Again, I feel like this is wrong degrees for me at the moment. This probably is even a minor structure here, and this whole thing would be a connector wave structure for this larger structure, potentially, or this would be something of a WXYZ count overall. But we'll see how it turns out, and if we are even going to be getting this C wave. At that point, we can again look into this more, but for now I'm just looking for this smaller time frame C wave here locally. Now, we had the talk about this count on higher time frame that we had, whoops, this is not on the wrong spot, where we had this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 into a possible A wave. Now this was the main scenario where we were expecting that ABC here again, but I had another thought, because again, we did not really get an impulse wave structure over the lows. We don't really get that B wave. So is there a possibility where where this whole structure is not done. Whether if wave A is actually not here, what if this whole structure is not done as a 5-wave structure? Let's take a look at that. So if we start from the highs here and look for a 5-wave structure, we can see that the one-to-one extension is right here. So this structure, whatever it is going beyond the first or one-to-one extension of the first leg. So that means that it has the potential of going as a 3-wave or 3rd wave. We hit only the 1.236, which would be more of a 3-wave structure extension target. But however, the next structure over here does not really fit into that idea. So if we are having this as a wave 1, this wave 2, can we have this as a wave 3? I think so, yeah. Wave 4, would that be fine? I think so. It still fits into the whole idea. But what if we don't have this as the 5th? What if this is the start of 5th? The only issue I have with that idea is that we have the highest RSI here. That generally means that whatever we have had before here is done. And that would not fit into this idea. In this one, we would have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this whole thing would be a 5 with an ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would fit into the idea where we would have this as a 5-wave structure, 3 waves and 5 waves coming back, taking out the lows and creating a new low, and then we would be pivoting up. Now we would have 2 different counts where we would have that same idea, having this 3-wave structure and ending something here. On one of them, we would be looking for, let's see which one I had it. In one of them, we would be looking for a C wave, and the other one would be looking for something that would actually end a higher time frame count. Okay, so this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 here. Let's put that to minute right now, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then this would be minuet. There we go. So that is one possibility. Again, why this is even possible is just because, again, we had this 3rd wave larger than wave 1. That allows wave 5 to have any kind of length. We know that wave 3 is not extended, so we could be arguing that, okay, wave 5 has the potential of going extended, and we have some targets here. Let's see that one. We already hit one of the targets. One target would be down here, but at that point we wouldn't have that contracting look anymore. So I definitely feel like we have to be looking into this as a structure here, and having this as that potential 3-way structure coming down. I think we have this as a double zigzag, like so, as a WXY, and in here it is again not very clear what this is. I feel like we have to be labeling this as the same WXYXZ. Oh, sorry, W A B C into WX and then Y, where this would be somehow a 3-way structure. This looks way more like a 5-way structure than anything else at the moment. So I'm not really wanting to go too much detail into the lower timeframes, just because again it doesn't have the right look. But we have to be keeping our minds open about these kind of counts. As long as they are not invalid, we still have to be looking at them, unfortunately. But again, I wouldn't keep this as my main, just because the RSI here is so high. I feel like my main would be something like this, where we would have tanked here, and whatever this new structure was, is starting something new to the upside. Whether it's going to be a connector wave like this, we'll see later, but I feel like this is my main still. But yeah, I think that is pretty much all the expectations on gold at this very moment. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.